Good morning or good afternoon. We are live from Puglia, the province of Puglia in Italy, near Bari, towards the heel of the boot of Italy. How are you today? First live stream of July. It's hard to believe that we're in the 6th month of 2021. Just seemed like the other day we were talking about what we did to get through 2020. And I am super excited for how the economy is recovering, how the automotive industry is recovering. We're facing new challenges. Some might even say more challenging than the initial pandemic was, with inventory shortages, chip shortages. But I also want to tell you about some exciting things that are going on this July in the Napa Valley. I also want to give you some updates on travel. I'm very interested. Does anybody have any plans to travel to Italy this summer or this fall? Why don't you just make a note in the comment section? I'm very interested to see. I've been getting a lot of questions from people. We're really one of the first, Carrie and I, one of the first travelers in a more open Europe, especially in Italy. We're still seeing beautiful restaurants, the best of best restaurants, with only a few tables. This is an amazing month to come to Italy. There's no lines. You really have free access to do whatever you'd like. Yes, some of the stores are closed, and that's the sad part. But if you have done any traveling around the United States, you know that a lot of stores, a lot of businesses have been impacted from COVID. But it is a gorgeous day today. I'm outside in our hotel, and it is gorgeous. Right in front of me are olive trees that are hundreds, if not over 1,000 years old, and I've been learning a lot. Alan, welcome, buddy. How is life in California, or is it Australia? Where are you hanging out nowadays? I wanted to just give you a few updates. I've had a tremendous outpouring of thanks on the Stellantis digital retailing report that we published. You can go to brianpash.com and pick up that report, and I will just put the website. If you just want to, don't mind me looking down and putting in the website, you can download the Stellantis research report on their push to have dealers use their e-shop tool. Good morning, Tony Thorset. Tony, I'm so glad you're coming out to Napa. So if you've been following the reporting, OEMs are pushing, good morning, Greg, are pushing dealers, especially in the Stellantis OEM channel, to use this eShop tool, even though it's not ready for prime time, even though it is inferior to other solutions that are on the market. Their idea is we'll get caught up. What's the harm in forcing our dealers to push into this tool? Well, good morning, Jim. I've been asking for dealers to raise their hands and show me how they're using it for used cars. It's very interesting. No one on LinkedIn publicly gave me a link. Zero crickets. I mean, we had over 1,000 people in the automotive industry download this Stellantis research report. And I just said, okay, if it's that good, if it's really ready for prime time, show me some dealers who are using it. Now, privately, secretly, people said, don't use my name, but this dealer is using it for used cars. Does anybody hearing that weirdness? Like, we don't want to say who's using the tool for used cars, but if you look on their website, there are. So I got 2 dealers. Imagine that. If this tool was so awesome, 2 dealers privately were referred. They weren't even the dealer themselves. I love that. So I'm going to record a video today or tomorrow on my shopping experience using Stellantis eShop to buy a used car. I'm going to actually try to go through the whole thing because we know that for new cars, the Stellantis eShop doesn't calculate taxes and fees. So it's not a transactional tool at all. Francesco. Wow, Francesco, I had some amazing food these last 2 days. I had for lunch some tuna tartare. Okay, it was okay. But then I had this veal slow cooked. I don't know if it was sous vide or just slow cooked. It was the most amazing veal dish. I took a picture. So I asked Carrie to give me your phone number so I could text it to you. Frankie, I don't know if you've been to Puglia to try this seafood, but the seafood in this region is amazing. And Tony, I'm glad you need Napa because I'm going to get to that in just a minute. But here's what I found. A number of OEMs have actually reached out to me to talk about my opinion on e-commerce. And I understand both sides. I understand the OEM wants a unified shopping experience for all consumers, no matter what their dealer, where that dealer is located. And I understand the dealer's point that they want to create a local branded experience that maybe even goes above OEM's vision or standards. So we're going to have a little headbutting here, especially as Toyota, Hyundai, GM Electric, obviously Stellantis, possibly Volvo, and others are moving towards controlling the initial ordering, configuring, pricing of vehicles. And so that kind of gets me into DMSC. So in Napa, we invite about 100 automotive professionals. Sometimes it's 110, but we try to keep it more intimate. The top dealer groups come out each year. Folks from Lithia love it. Morgan Auto Group love it. I mean, Kevin Weiler from the Weiler Automotive Group, Kevin Fry's been out. We got some great people coming out, some amazing dealer groups, but individual dealer entrepreneurs in small groups as well. And, I am encouraging dealers to come out. It's funny, psychologically, dealers really are not logically correct most of the time, because if they're making a lot of money, they're like, why do I need to learn anything new? I'm making a lot of money. And if they're not making a lot of money, they're like, well, I don't have any money to go learn something new. So it's kind of a funny thing, but we have a few tickets left for DMSC, and I really want dealers to bring out their marketing managers, their sales managers, so we can talk about the future of automotive retailing. We need to talk about what are the marketing strategies that you need to do when inventory is limited. We need to talk about this whole thing about digital retailing, how to market it, and then what do we do when there's this conflicting strategy from the OEM and the dealer. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about the new privacy rules. We need to talk about the new changes in Facebook marketing. You've seen some of that. We need to talk about new techniques to deliver customers into the showroom that have been innovated through the new privacy laws. There's a lot going on. I'm looking at some comments here. John Repetta says, can customers buy new vehicles directly from the OEM website? And John, right now in the US, the answer is no. Most of what the tools are doing is creating a pre-order. Like my Corvette, I went to the national website. I configured the car the way I wanted it. I picked the local dealer, and later I transacted through them. Same thing with the Jeep Wrangler. You went to the national website, configured what you wanted. Same thing with the Hummer. But here's one thing, John, and I want to thank John for asking that question. There will be a day when a U.S. OEM allows a consumer to fully transact online at a national site. And when that day happens, then that's the day the clock really starts ticking on massive changes in the franchise new car sales model. When the first scalable ability for a consumer to go to GM Electric powered by Techion, go to that website, order their vehicle, put in their zip code, put in all their loan information, pick their local dealer, but the whole transaction's done. That's the day. Right now, that is not Jim Sentience, here's a good question from Jim. Have any of the OEMs mentioned anything about tracking buyer activity so they can either alter or personalize incentive? Jim, you're asking, again, great questions. The people who follow my writing and stuff are some of the smartest marketing people in the world. The reason why OEMs want a centralized retail experience are all the things that dealers want a centralized experience. Consistency. They got all the marketing attribution then. I mean, this whole idea of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 really came out of broadcast pre-internet structures. The reason why there was tier 2, it was dealers couldn't afford to buy television on their own. So by pooling money, you could reach a region more effectively. But today, dealers can buy OTT, Facebook, Google as granular or as large as they want, just as efficiently as anyone else. Tier 2, don't get me going on tier 2. That's another day. Tier 2 marketing is really a land grab and a money grab, and not so much an efficiency grab for dealers. And some OEMs have started to dismantle tier 2 structures, and for good reason, because technology has evolved, self-service evolved, really software as a service to plan all your programmatic buys are there. And so it's interesting. So Tony brings up a good point. Business is slow until it's time to get better. Well, Tony, here's my point. When is the right time to invest in education? It's every day. I mean, think about it. The people who are the most successful in business are the ones who are keeping their eye on trends. Anybody who's seeing this push down from the OEMs on digital retailing and centralized retailing tools, if your head is in the sand thinking that something massive isn't coming, man, you're missing the conversation. If you don't believe me, just come out to DMSC and you'll understand what that means. A LinkedIn user asked me a question here. While in Italy, should I ask about the impact of the GDPR for them, the EU reg for privacy? Yeah, so good question. The privacy laws or the changes in privacy laws in the US really weren't instituted or started by the US. I think the US folks are more lackadaisical about their concern about privacy. In the EU, people are more concerned, meaning for an American, if they visit Zappos and Zappos follows them around the internet with sneaker ads, they're like, oh yeah, that's what the internet does. In the EU, I know a lot of people say, no, that's creepy. I don't want anybody knowing my shopping behaviors. So obviously the EU started with privacy, but now here in the US, Apple's changes with iOS 14, with the cookie-less world, Google's attempt to replace tracking with their own system, and then companies like WordPress resisting and not supporting their framework. These are some big changes, and that's why auto dealers need to come out to DMSC and talk about these things. What can we do with your own data? This is probably the best time for the topics of our conference, which is an advanced conference on retailing and marketing, to talk about the use of dealers' own data and the importance of using that data to create a competitive edge. And this is absolutely a huge reason why dealers need to make a decision to come out to the Napa Valley in July. It's July 11th, 12th, 13th. Now, let me provide a link to the DMSC website. Let's start with that because I have a special promotion. Yeah, come on. There it is. Check out the link to the DMSC website. And I'd like to also give you one other link. How about this? This is a bonus day. I'm going to give you the link to the latest brochure, which lists every time slot, every workshop, keynote, panel, discussion, networking opportunity. So yeah, there we go. We have, let's see. Okay, try that moment again. I wonder why it didn't go for Facebook. Okay, here's my point. Take a look at that agenda, and you will see that this is not a basic 101 conference. This is some really meaty topics and conversations. Every dealer that goes to the conference, I guarantee you will be saving thousands of dollars on your Google spend by just stupid things that you're doing that you didn't even realize you're doing because you forgot what type of business you were in and you're just following Google's playbook. You're going to learn about the most effective strategies that are working on Facebook. Tim Martell and others will be talking about the most effective uses of SEO. And even you would say SEO has even greater importance today than ever before, because that with the new privacy laws and the new tracking prohibitions, pay-per-click marketing per acquisition should be going up pretty significantly or measurably as a result of these new laws. Another question from Jim. I'm wondering if OEMs are going to pursue customers more aggressively once the visitors has engaged with the OEM's DR tool. Jim, great questions. Here's what the Stellantis presentation said. When a consumer comes to the national website, their chat, they're staffing the chat. And if somebody fills out a lead, they will send it to the dealer, but they're also going to contact to make sure that the customer is taken care of. And the big question, Jim, is who owns the customer then? Does the franchise dealer own the customer or does the OEM? If the OEM drove traffic to a national portal and the person fills in their own information, who owns the customer? This is a big thing for dealer groups, by the way. This is a big issue for dealer groups. Who owns the customer? And then what happens when the manufacturer starts doing direct marketing to the consumer on a regular basis or follow-up marketing that also conflicts with the local dealer's marketing? And will franchise dealers be prevented by doing some marketing? Or will the OEM start to control follow-up and retention marketing because, well, they own the customer? These are all great questions. Look at that. Tony's looking for a ride share from Sac to Napa. Whoa, I like that. I like that. Tony, listen, Uber's not that expensive. Come on. Well, hold on. Let's set a GoFundMe campaign for Tony, and we're going to call it the Ride to Sacramento Drive. The Ride Sacramento to Napa. Yeah, we'll do that. Or maybe Tony, there's some people who are flying into Sac who want to get out to Napa. That's even better. So you're just trying to be efficient. Well, I just want to encourage all the automotive folks that are watching live or on replay, take a look at the agenda, take a look at the website, come out and be part of the conversation. Do not be passive. Oh, look, you have the rental. Oh, you want to take someone. Oh, Tony, I feel so bad now. I feel so bad that I was teasing with you. Well, Tony knows it's important to come out to DMSC. He's attended before. I want to encourage people to come out. Let me tell you a few things about travel to Europe. Is anybody interested in going to Italy this summer in the fall? I posted a video on YouTube that talked about my experience using the Delta COVID tested flight, and United and Delta have COVID tested flights that have a protocol and have made it very easy to come to Italy. Number one, people have been asking, you do not have to have the vaccine to come to Italy. Okay, number one. Number two, out of Atlanta and JFK, Delta has COVID tested flights. Here's the protocol for Delta, slightly different than United. You get a PCR test within 72 hours of flying. We got ours at CVS for free. It took about 24 hours, but I would not wait to the day before you fly because CVS doesn't guarantee 24 hours, but the testing is very quickly because there's no backlog. So you get a PCR test. You also, this is for Delta now, you go to the Delta website and they'll have some links. You have to fill out two forms. One is a PLF, a passenger locator form. I think this is for all of Italy, no matter what airline you fly in on. The PLF is a PDF. You fill it out, and it comes with a QR code. When you go to check in for your flight, you have to show your negative PCR test, your PLF QR code, and also, if you're flying into Rome, you make an appointment It's just saying what date and time you're arriving to get a rapid test in Rome Fiumicino. And here's how it went. I went to JFK, right? So Delta special COVID flights are Terminal 4 lower level, which doesn't make sense for most people because they think, well, nothing ever leaves on the lower level, but this is special. So you go to Delta Terminal 4 lower level, you show them your negative PCR test, you show them your PLF, and you show them the appointment form for Fiumicino rapid test. That's it. And then you get your rapid test there. You wait 15 minutes, 20 minutes, they give you your test results. They clip your negative test results that they give you with your PCR test, with your PLF, and your Fiumicino appointment, staple it, and they say, all right, go check in. Right on lower level, Terminal 4, you bring your bags. Let me see your paperwork. Okay, that's done. And then you check in normally. They give you your bag tags, and they stamp your boarding pass with a special stamp that says you went through and you're cleared. You go through security, you go to your gate, you just show them your stack of papers one more time. They don't really inspect them. You get on the plane. When you get off the plane, it pays to be in first class or at the bulkhead of coach because the first people off the plane get the rapid test first, right? So we were in first class. So we got in. There was really 3 or 4 people ahead of us. We waited 5 minutes. Then we got our tests. And 15 minutes later, they called our number. You're negative. Okay, go get your bags. No quarantining necessary. Now, United has a similar process, meaning I think you have to get your PCR test within 48 hours. I think that, but you still need your forms, your protocols. Now, what's interesting on the way back to the US, you need a rapid test or an antigen test. And I bought the Abbott test kits. I don't know why they sell them in packages of 6, but they did sell them in packages of 6. Thankfully, some friends are traveling with us. And you can do the test in your own house in Italy or hotel in Italy before you leave. And the package is sealed. They give you, this is so cool. It's a teledoc. So they say, don't open the box, but, go and get this, go to this website. And you actually schedule a teledoc visit. They call you back in a few minutes and they're watching you now. They say, okay, open up the box. They walk you through opening the test, swabbing your nose, and you get your results. It was 6 tests, cost $150. So that's what we're doing. So Carrie and I will self-test with the teledoc, and that's what we're going to do. Anthony Freda, buongiorno, buonasera. So Italy is open for travelers, and these COVID protocol flights make it easy that you can come and have no quarantine requirements. And then right now in Italy, people are wearing masks as they walk around the streets. When you sit down in the restaurant, you take off your mask. That's pretty much the way it is. If you're going to shops, you leave your mask on. But everything is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then someone mentions here, the privacy laws do vary from state to state. California is the most aggressive. Absolutely, it is. So look for some updates on me testing the Stellantis eShop for used cars. And then, since my research is not just limited to Stellantis, I am going to do a side-by-side comparison of the OEM centralized digital retailing tools, and I'll record an experience trying to buy a car. Now, we know that like Shop, Click, Drive, you can't buy a car. It's more of a configuration tool. But Nissan at Home will try to go ahead and buy a car all the way through using real information. We'll do the same thing with Stellantis. We'll do the same thing. Hyundai is using a digital retailing tool, 3 different vendors, and recently somebody sent me a link for the latest entrant into the Hyundai program. And every time I wonder why I keep on mind blanking on the new DMS provider who is doing Techion. Somebody has to remind me. Techion. Maybe I have to tattoo it. Techion has started to roll out a digital retailing tool for Hyundai dealers as one of 3 choices. But it was interesting. It took the consumer off the dealer's website to a national Techion-owned URL. Again, you know, my feeling on that is really a bad implementation choice. We need to talk about the future of automotive retail together. That's why I want to encourage dealers to come out to DMSC. And anyone who watches this video, I have a special promotion. I'm going to put in my email now. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Brian@brianpash.com. Very easy. If you have not registered for DMSC and you would like to come, I'd like to offer you a special promotion, an incentive to come out and even bring someone else from your dealership. It's very important with so much going on in automotive that you really make an investment to get out and answer some of the questions. What should I be doing with lower inventory levels in regards to my marketing? What should I be doing to do conquest acquisition or lease returns? What should I be doing trying to get used car inventory direct? What should I be doing with my digital retailing strategy now? Is this the best time to test digital retailing where consumers are willing to pay MSRP or even above? Is this the best time to try a single point of contact sales solution? There's a lot of important conversations. And more importantly, we're going to be talking about Google Analytics 4. We're going to be having 4 certification courses on Sunday. 4. If you come early to the conference, you can participate in these certification courses. It's just amazing, all the great content. So I'm taking the time out of my vacation because I never rest. I'm always a student of the auto industry. And man, my phone's been blowing up with dealers and OEM friends asking about, you know, the future of automotive retailing. We're going to be talking about it in the Napa Valley, July 11th, 12th, and 13th. So, Tony, I'll be seeing you out there for sure. It's going to be an amazing conference, and it's live. And then those of you who, for whatever reason, can't make it but would love to watch the content, we are selling virtual tickets that all of the conference content will be recorded and placed on a private, login basis. So if for some reason you can't get out to the Napa Valley, and I encourage you to do, you can still watch all of the keynotes, workshops, panels, and discussions at any time you'd like, using the private login that you get when you purchase a ticket. So before we sign off, any questions? I mean, let's talk about DMSC, future of automotive retailing, even travel to Italy, or what's the best restaurant so far, or did I try any new wines? I may have opinions on these things. Down in Puglia, I've been trying some new wines like Primitivo. Whoa, yeah, Primitivo, and Nero Amaro, another type of grape. And man, there's just, and a white wine, Fiano. Oh yeah, I've been quite active trying some of the local regional grapes that are here to broaden my horizons, and I really like the Primitivo. Yeah, it's Primitivo di Mandaloria or something like that. I think that's the official grape varietal, and it's wonderful. Well, everyone, thank you for jumping in, saying hello from Italy. And if you have any questions, you have my email address. Follow the link to DMSC. We have a hotel block. It's going to be exhausted soon because the response has been amazing. So get your hotel room booked, get your airplane ticket booked. And if you send me an email, I'll give you some information on some promotional offers for DMSC to get you and your team out to the best live conference, talk about the most important things regarding automotive retail. Have a great day, everyone, and I hope to see you soon in the beautiful Napa Valley.